Welcome, it's KrayZee here. Being an artist is great. The joy of creating in general heals a lot of our human hearts and minds. Sharing our love of art with others is also a beautiful thing. However, since we are human, we all have our weaknesses. I want to work on one of mine, and I think a lot of artists will agree with me. Hands. No need to draw them. Just hide them behind the character's back, or put it in their pockets. What about we don't give them fingers? Or attempting to actually draw them and it ends up turning out terrible. Hands are usually an artist's first enemy. They're so intricate and unique at every moment, angle, and pose. When I see an artist just pull a hand out of their pencil that looks amazing, I'm in awe. I want to improve. How I'm going to attempt this improvement will be in 4 sections. 1. Draw from memory. Let's see how awful I truly am. 2. Reference. Let's do some reference drawings. 3. Tutorial. Are they good? And 4. A final drawing from what we learned. So, let's begin. Take it away, Fleshy.
So starting off, I am just going to draw hands from my brain. Like, not looking at mine, not looking at hands in general, just kind of drawing them out. And I was honestly surprised. Maybe I was having like a good drawing day or something, but these hands turned out like relatively well without like any reference or inspiration. Like, I was just kind of drawing them. Like, look at the thumbs. Like, I actually drew the thumbs. I talk about more my opinion on thumbs in drawings a little later, but I was actually genuinely impressed with these drawings. Like, apparently I'm not as terrible as I thought, so I guess we'll just dive right into the references.
Okay, so I looked on Pinterest for a couple of hand references. I picked 3. This one right here, I really liked the shape and dynamic of it, and so I'm gonna try to draw it by reference. It's been a long time since I've just looked at hand references. I got the palm here. So I usually like to start with like, I don't know, like a circle or like just like a rounded square. Since you got like this here, kind of have that. I'm a very messy sketcher. I've met some people that like they sketch so cleanly and I'm like, how do you do this? Like, I just sketch like this. Like, how do you just, all of a sudden it looks like line art, just do the sketch. Like, I have to have multiple layers of like my sketch and then a cleaner sketch and then line art, you know? Just trying to get the basic shape in. And then we got the pointer, which comes behind. Okay, and then I need the thumb, which the thumb is always the hardest part for me. I have a hard time drawing thumbs. But when I can get a good thumb, I'm like, yeah, buddy, you know. The thumb, I don't know, it really brings the hand together when you're able to draw it right. See, this is an example of a thumb that doesn't make the drawing come together. I might have to do my own thing here. It's kind of garbage. I mean, this is kind of an intricate pose, so it's a little not in my comfort zone. It's not the worst thing. There she is. Yippee, yippee. All right, let's do the next one. I'm gonna silence you. Go here, hello. Bruh. Hello.
Hello there.
What is happening? A fist. Fists are so
Hello
hard
there.
for me to draw. Shut up. Like, I have such a hard time drawing fists, like, just by myself. Like I'm like okay drawing like open hands and stuff, but for some reason, fists. Okay, I'm intimidated by this one. I'm gonna start with my weird like rounded rectangle. There's so much wrinkles here. I don't know where to start. Wow. I'm gonna simplify this. I'm not trying to be realistic. Oh my gosh. Does my hand look like that? Am I that wrinkly when I do a fist? Don't mind my thumb. My thumb's kind of gross. I have anxiety. And I pick it. My husband's been in and out of the hospital the past couple of weeks. That's why I haven't posted anything, but it's not like anyone keeps an eye on my channel anyway. Damn. I bet you heard every gulp. Holy crap. That is so bad, guys. That's so bad. Okay, so... Did I draw on the same layer? No. Oh my gosh. I almost died. I just added an extra layer for no reason. There's that one. Not amazing. I feel like I might have an easier time with this one, but who knows. Just do a whole video of drawing thumbs. Like that, and then there's like this part of the hand. Oh no. Oh my gosh, is my cat throwing up a hairball right now? Cassie, you okay? Throwing up on the ground? Rude. Rudely interrupted. Okay, it's a little messy, but this one was really hard. This finger was the worst. I can't seem to get that. I mean, I don't know, but it was good practice to try anyway.
Okay, so on with the tutorials. So I'm not going to be following any particular tutorial in this video. I've watched multiple and I have looked up multiple. I just kind of put together around 3 different type of techniques that I was seeing over and over again. One was circles and lines, where, you know, every single joint has a circle and then there's a line, a circle, line. I've seen that one a lot. Another one is cylinders, where they draw cylinders. Each finger has multiple cylinders, maybe up to like 3 cylinders or so. There's more 3D versions as well, but I think that's kind of over excessive. But I'm going to be doing something relatively similar to that. And then a really popular one that I've seen is the mitten technique. I also try that one as well. All of these together can totally be used, but I'm going to show you my process of trying all 3 of these out with different hand poses. Starting off with circles and lines. Each technique, I do 3 drawings, and so we're starting with this technique. As you can see, I'm able to create some like relatively okay hands. Like, you can tell that they're hands. I think what's good about this technique is it's pretty straightforward. Like, you understand what you're looking at. My only main negative experience with it is a little all over the place. In general, just it gets a little messy. Sometimes it gets a little like jumbled for me, especially with perspective. It was kind of hard to do anything perspective with the circles and lines, but with like normal hands and stuff without any crazy pose, I was able to draw just fine.
Moving on to cylinders. I didn't do anything like too 3D-ish, but in a way, you were able to kind of see a 3D aspect to it, which I really liked. Each cylinder kind of gave me an idea of where the crevice of the joints are, which made it a lot easier to draw. I had an easier time doing more perspective drawings with the cylinders. I don't know why. I guess it's just more of the shapes and the 3D like attribute really does help put your brain into understanding of posing and angles, but I really enjoyed the cylinder one. I also feel like the hand drawings that I did with the cylinder technique are the best drawn hands in this section of the video. Okay, now the mitten technique. I feel like this one's pretty straightforward. I had a harder time with this one. I don't necessarily know why. I have used the mitten technique and it can seriously work really well, especially with simplifying your hand shapes. I think I just need to practice it a little bit more, but it's also a good technique. On with the final drawing. So I used a reference that I found on Pinterest, and the more that I was looking at it, the more I realized that it is possibly AI, which is amazing. Love that for me. If you look at the pinky, you can see that there is some weirdness going on with the pinky nail. It's just a hand over a candle. The composition and the colors look really nice. It really stood out to me. That's why I chose it. But I noticed that other photos related to it on Pinterest were the same type of picture but a different angle, which is a sign of AI prompts. So hope that doesn't bother you. I'm not the biggest fan of AI, but I wanted to at least make art inspired by the colors and the pose of the hand that was in this picture. I really enjoyed this. This was super quick. It was fun. I've never done a detailed hand like this before. At least using this composition and color scheme and pose and actually making art out of it from a human. The whole process was a good learning experience. I'm glad I was able to do it.
But yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thanks for sticking around. Hope it wasn't too crazy for you. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.